Alright y'all, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make lasagna. Now this is my grandma's recipe, or it's a spin-off of my grandma's recipe. For this we have a pound of ground Italian sausage. We've got 8 ounces of cream cheese here. It's been out at room temperature for a while so it can soften up. We have an onion. We've got 3 average size beefsteak tomatoes. We've got some oven-ready lasagna. Now you could use, if you want to boil your lasagna noodles, you can. And I don't know how many I'm going to need, so I just have 2 boxes of that. I also have some Parmesan cheese. I have some mozzarella cheese back here. We have some crushed red pepper flakes. We have got some crushed tomatoes and puree. I couldn't just find puree, everything's sold out right now. We also have a 24-ounce jug of cottage cheese. And we have some wet minced garlic. So first things first is we need to dice up our onion. Alright y'all, so the camera didn't catch me cutting up our onion, but we've gone ahead and diced up our onion. For this, I don't really care if they're universally shot or if they're all the same shape. They'll all cook the same because they're going to cook long enough. But now we're just going to go ahead and go over to our stove. Alright y'all, so we've gone ahead and just put a touch of oil in our skillet. We're going to put this on a medium-high heat. We're going to dump all of our onions in. And then we're also just going to cook our sausage with our onions. So we're just want to brown up and cook all of this. So we've got our Italian sausage and our onion in here for now. I'm gonna go ahead and get ours cooked up and I'll bring you back. Alright y'all, so we have 3 tomatoes here. We're just gonna take our tomatoes. Well, that knife surely needs sharpened up. So now that we've gone ahead and changed out our knives, I got tired of using the doll thing. We're just going to go ahead and roughly chop up our tomatoes. So I'm just going to go ahead, cut up the rest of my tomatoes, I'll bring you back. Alright y'all, so our onions and our meat have browned up. All we're going to do, take our can of tomato paste, tomato sauce, whatever you're using. I have crushed tomatoes and tomato paste because I couldn't find the others. Let's go ahead and get that mixed up. We're also going to take all of our tomatoes, dump those things in. Now we just want to go ahead and mix this all up. Okay, so now we're just going to let that sit, and we're also going to be adding more seasonings to it. So we're going to take half a tablespoon of red pepper flakes, dump that on in. And we got 2 tablespoons of our wet garlic, just dump that on in. Now, all we gotta do is go ahead and give this all a solid mix in, let that disperse. Now once we have that all mixed in, we're just gonna go ahead and let that simmer for at least 15 minutes. So while that's simmering, we can go ahead and start preparing some of our other stuff that we gotta do for this. Alright, so we have our 8 ounces of cream cheese in a bowl, that's 1 package. We're going to take a cup of our Parmesan cheese, and then I got a fork, and I'm just going to cream and mix all this up. So now we're going to take our cottage cheese And we've also rinsed it. So we just put it in some cold, we just ran some water over it in a strainer with some cold water and then let it drain for a few minutes. And we're just gonna mix this in. But now we've got this blended up, we're just gonna go ahead and set this to the side. Okay, y'all. So we have our casserole dish here. And to start, we're just gonna take very little, and we're gonna try to get mostly the juice from our meat over here. We just need a very little bit of it. And we're just doing that. And we need a little bit of it, and we want to get a good coverage. Not thick, just pretty thin. You can see, if you can see somewhat on the camera here. And that is just mainly to protect our pasta. So now, we're going to start by layering. And we're just gonna go ahead. Oh my lord, these sheets are the perfect size. Almost perfect size. And then we're just gonna cover them. Now, like I said, these are ready for oven use. Shells, you might have to cook yours depending on what you go with. So now, we're gonna go ahead, create a layer of our hamburger goodness here. And I'm using about half my filling on this layer. And now we're gonna come in with our cottage cheese and cream cheese mixture. And we're going to use about half of our mixture here too. So we don't need too much. This is just we're going to smear this around and create a thin layer of this. Okay, so we got that part done. Now we're gonna come in with our mozzarella cheese. Now I'm not gonna measure out mozzarella cheese. We're just gonna cover that entire thing with like probably a thinner layer of mozzarella cheese, because we're gonna really hit the mozzarella in a little bit. But we want a solid coating of mozzarella here. Alright, y'all. So we got that. And now we're just going to repeat the steps. Now, we're going to take the rest of our meat sauce here, depending on how much you got left. And we're going to make sure all your noodles covered. I may have used a little more than half that first go around, but that's alright. You want to try to use half on both layers. Yeah, I used a little more than half on the bottom because I didn't quite have enough to coat this entire thing. Now we're just going to take the rest of that cottage cheese mixture. And again, we're just going to go ahead and spread this out, disperse it around. All right. Final thing is, we're just gonna coat this thing in cheese, in our mozzarella cheese. Now you can do what your heart loves to do here. You could put as much or as little as you would like. Or if you got another cheese that you really like that you think would go good with this, go ahead and do that. It's your lasagna. But I think I didn't have much space to the top of my dish, so I'm gonna go right beneath the rim with my cheese. We don't want to go to the rim because it might overflow and bubble. But we'll go right up to the rim, to the bottom of the rim with my cheese. And we're gonna call it good right there. Now, here's what you can do. You can go ahead and throw this in the oven right now, which is what I'm going to do. And in that case, it'll take 15 to 30 minutes to cook, because all we gotta do is melt this cheese, get it melted, golden, bubbly. It's mozzarella, maybe not golden, but you just gotta want it melted and bubbly. And then you pull it out, 15-30 minutes. After 15 minutes, I would say start checking on it. We got our oven at 350. Now, if you go ahead, you can make this now, throw it in the fridge, throw it in the freezer for later, and at that point, you're gonna have to cook it longer. Depending on whether you throw it in the fridge or the freezer, I would say probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes, just keep an eye on it. Because that's not something we ever did, but this dish you can do that with. So right now I got my oven preheated 350 degrees, and I am going to put this in there for 15-30 minutes, and I'll bring you back when it's done. Alright, y'all, and there you have it, lasagna. A lot like my grandma made it. I changed a few things, but not too much. Overall, it's pretty much how my grandma made it. As you can see, our cheese is melted. And you got tomato sauce gooing over. This is gonna be amazing. I can tell you right now, it smells amazing. I know it's gonna taste amazing. Alright, y'all, so if you like this video, go ahead, smash that subscribe button down below, and if you haven't already, 75% of you guys aren't subscribers. Only 25% of you viewers are subscribed to my channel. So if you're in that 75% and you've made it this far, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We put out cooking videos every week, and we are learning how to edit and get better with our film and making improvements all the time. So go ahead, smash that subscribe button. There's a video right here that YouTube thinks you should watch, and until next time, keep on cooking on.